Capitalism is the only way, Leslie. It moves our country forward. It's what makes America great. And England okay, and France terrible.
W-T-L.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. That stands for Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, and this week I am joined by Jeremy Odom, the J.O.
The J.O.
The J.O. And you're a man of many talents, stand-up comedian, sports writer. What else? Are you like directing a movie, or what else is going on?
You know, I am writing some sketch comedy, so pretty close.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Well, a little bit of everything. I also have hosted at home. I've had people over. We've hung out. I grill.
Oh.
I mean, so.
Wow.
Just saying.
Okay, so you could actually host your own show and cook for everyone at your own. Like, you could be the chef, the entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And as long as we film the whole thing, we'll make content out of it. Why not?
All right, I like it. We need to get some of that sketch comedy on WTL. Do you think we can do that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Maybe that's still down the road, but we're planting that seed now here on Where's the Line? Because that's the name of the show. Where's the Line? We don't know. We're exploring. Right? We're exploring this.
We're exploring where that line is. I live within the blurred lines. Yeah. I love everything about that.
Oh, I think we're going to move to a more finite line here. And we're talking about the AFC Championship game. Kansas City taking on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. And, by the way, I don't know if you heard this or not. This is the 6th year in a row that Kansas City is playing in the AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes has never not been a starter and made it to the AFC Championship game. And some of the stats that are popping up now about Patrick Mahomes in the start of his career, they're kind of mind-boggling, really. I mean, they're crazy.
Is he really that good, or has he just got the silver spoon?
Yeah, when you come from Texas Tech, I mean, that's just setting you up for so much success.
He was raised to be in this spot.
Yeah. No, his dad was an old Minnesota Twin, pretty good, darn good pitcher, Patrick Mahomes Sr. But this might be one more stat. I got one more stat that I was thinking of. When this game is played, that will be his 17th all-time playoff game that he's started.
Holy cow.
And he's been in the league 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Started for 6. And the Arizona Cardinals, as a franchise, have only played 17 playoff games. As a franchise, they've only played 17 playoff games. Patrick Mahomes, in his 7th year, 6th as a starter, will have played 17 games come this weekend.
That's an all-time start to a career, that's for sure.
Not bad. Not bad at all. But here in the here and now, Baltimore is your 3.5-point favorite. Shop it around a little bit, but consensus is looking at that 3.5. This line opened up at 2.5. It's getting bet up. It's getting bet up towards Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Baltimore's the best team in the AFC. They're at home.
Yep.
They're bringing in a Chiefs team that's just nobody gives credit to. They're sarcasm.
Right.
But no, it kind of makes sense that the Ravens are the favorite, but they're only getting the half point outside of the 3 you get at home. I mean, that's the thing.
Right.
I don't know.
I follow a lot of different sports betting shows and writers and hosts. And they're all saying, like, man, everything's saying Baltimore. I got to like Baltimore here. But I've been burned too many times by Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
So, like, if you are on Kansas City, I can't fault you because this guy just wins in these big moments. And even if he doesn't win, he still can cover. I mean, don't you think this is going to be a field goal game? You just made the comparison there from home to away.
Yeah, if the Ravens are going to win this game, they're going to win with the field goal. Justin Tucker, an all-time future Hall of Famer, right?
Yep.
He's going to be the one sending him to the Super Bowl. But it's hard to give away money when you're getting points with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They've just been in this spot too many times. Andy Reid himself, 5-2 when coaching head-to-head against John Harbaugh.
Yep.
4-1 with the Chiefs in that spot. So, I don't know. They've been in this moment. The lights get bright. Lamar hasn't.
Yeah.
That's...
last week we talked about some of these crazy stats and numbers going into the last week's game versus the Bills. And Patrick Mahomes has only been an underdog 10 times. In the playoffs, and he's 8-1-1 at that. Now he's 9-1-1 in the playoffs, knocking off the Bills as an underdog, and it's just more of the same. Like, this script sets up exactly the same. I thought the Bills might have had a better overall team. They were dinged up on defense, but they were at home. Josh Allen was playing at an all-time level. He didn't even turn the ball over. It's Josh Allen. He didn't even turn the ball over, and they still figured out a way to lose or was it the Chiefs figuring out a way to win?
Yeah, it's the Chiefs figuring out a way to win. I mean, this is a tried and true. They're defending champs.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's been able to put them down. So,
right.
Yeah, you can't go against the defending champs, I suppose. When
where is your line?
Live.
Where is your line? If Baltimore is only favored, like at that opening line at 2.5, do you like Baltimore then?
Yeah, I like Baltimore 2.5
Okay.
because, like I said, it's a field goal game.
Okay.
I like it being tied.
You need it off that key
towards
number.
the end.
You
Right.
need off that key number of 3.
Yep. Get me under 3, and it is Baltimore 100%.
How about that total? Right now at 44.5, and it's kind of staying right there. Not too much action moving up or down. I think there's just so much information out about these two teams, and we've seen them, and we know what they can do. And so everyone's thinking, okay, 3 touchdowns here, 3 touchdowns there, 44 points. We get it, right?
Yeah, I actually like the scoring in this game. I don't know of the 2 games going on this weekend. I think this game has opportunity to have a little bit of back and forth,
A little over.
yeah, and have it make sense. So I think the line in that regard is too low for these 2 teams, and I like the over a little bit.
I wouldn't argue the over because you're also getting a fresh Baltimore team.
Right.
And their offense, when Lamar gets cooking, look out. And I think he's all the things that people talk about. He can run, but he's also a better passer than what people make him out to be. The same could be said, I'll talk about him a little later here, Josh Allen. He's a better runner than people like to give him credit for. He's a big dude, tough to bring down, and if you want to start betting overs as far as rushing yards of Josh Allen, that's a good way to go about it next season. I'll tell you that right now. But I think more can be said for Lamar and his passing yardage. And right now, Kansas City's defense, keep an eye on that injury report. They got key injuries on the defensive line, and it seems like their linebackers and their defensive backs are just always hurt.
Is that from the snowballs that were being thrown from the crowd?
That very first touchdown, I saw a little bit of an overthrow, and the fan caught a Bill right in the chest. So, if you're going to throw those snowballs...
Don't hit your team.
Yeah, a little friendly fire there in the end zone. So.
Man, I was like, this is too close to Philly. Philly fans went to the game or something. But, to your point, Lamar's a better runner than Josh Allen. He's definitely has the legs and definitely has the experience of doing that. I could see Lamar opening it up. If that's something that is going to be a big part of the game, that's going to open up the passing attack for Lamar. Yeah, I'd say points are going to be scored for sure. It's going to be a shootout.
I think what scares a lot of people with that total and kind of balances it out there and why we haven't seen much movement is the elite defense from the Ravens. And you can also kind of double down on that and say Kansas City is incomplete. Their offense, they're missing a good receiver. They had one of the best in the league in Tyreek Hill. That's gone. And these receivers, we beat them up every week, but I feel like they validate us, Jabron and I. Last week, you had a receiver make a nice catch, and then he made another nice catch, and then he fumbled the ball out of the back of the end zone. That would have put the game away. But no, these receivers figured out, they're like, hey, we only get to touch the ball 3 or 4 times. Let's make our mark. Lining up off sides, remember that?
Yeah, I was just thinking of him because I was watching the game last week, and I'm like, where is that guy? Well, he's not active. And I thought he was one of their better receivers because, to your point, they don't have a lot of them. Rice has been playing very well, and he's been a guy that Patrick Mahomes has found some kind of chemistry with. But outside of Kelsey, then you got to get Pacheco involved in the passing game, and he's not the elite player there. But yeah, no, they're definitely lacking, but they're also a team that still finds a way when you've got the best player on the field on your side.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, okay, is this too rich for you? Is too much juice? That money line, we haven't talked about the money line for the Ravens, minus 185. Is that just too much? Like, where you're like, just give me away from that. I don't even want to look at that. Yeah,
I'm not looking at the money line. This game could go either way. It's gonna be close. It's give me the value there. I'll take the Chiefs over anything.
Right. And I think you saw that line on some books sneak up north of 3, got to 3.5, got to 4, and then boom, all that Kansas City money came pouring in. People couldn't stand it. So if you're on your phone all day at work, slacking off or whatever,
take a look at it.
Yeah, keep an eye on that and try and get on, because I think we're both in agreement there. If it's within a field goal, you can't give that many points to Kansas City.
Absolutely.
Do you like any of these player props? We got a couple of minutes here. Let's get into some player props.
Yeah, you know what? I like Pacheco being involved. He's having a heck of a playoff.
Yeah.
I like him being the first touchdown scorer for Kansas City.
He
He was very much involved in that.
Okay.
Last week, I see him being a play. They're going to key in on Kelsey. If they're looking at Rice.
Okay.
Pacheco plus 330 to be the Chiefs' first touchdown scorer.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow. So, I'm kind of the conservative voice on this show. And Jabron, he's the parlay pounder. He gets out there. He has all these crazy ideas. And I'm usually the guy that kind of reels it in, or I try to. But I like where you're coming from, and I'd even maybe double down on that. I like this so much. I would say Pacheco first touchdown scored. Get more juice on it. And if Kansas City wants to win, I think they got to play from ahead. I think they got to play fast. I think they got to get up early. We've seen Andy Reid construct those opening drives. He's one of the best in the league and has been for a long time. And if they get down in the red zone, they're going to be going to Pacheco.
Absolutely.
So I think if you're going to do something Jabron-ish as far as betting on touchdowns or anytime touchdowns, maybe go for the first one scored. And because I think it's going to be Kansas City. And with that logic, I think it's going to be Pacheco.
Pacheco is going to bring us the money this weekend. He's going to be very involved. And, man, he just looked like a guy that was extra motivated last week.
He did.
He's a guy that's undervalued for sure for his team.
And I think you got another one over there, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I like Rashee Rice. I like him being involved in the game. I don't know that I like exactly where the line is for his receiving yards. You're looking at a minus 110 to get 60. I don't know. To get plus money, he's going to have to get over 70. I don't like the value there. I do think he's going to get a big portion of the receiving yards for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
because they're going to be keen on Kelsey, but I don't know. That might be too much for me.
Yeah, it very well could be in there. So a lot of scenarios where that doesn't happen for him. So why do you want to risk that?
Yeah, right.
I think one that folks should really take a look at, and I'm looking at, is Lamar Jackson going over on his rushing totals. I see it at 60 yards at a minus 179. I really like that. Last week, Josh Allen ran all over Kansas City. And it wasn't. And it was on different. There wasn't too many design runs like I think you're going to see with Lamar here. 12 carries, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns. And some of the times it was a quarterback sneak type of deal, and he would get like 6-7 yards on a quarterback sneak. You can bet it that Baltimore saw that. They really like that. They think that they probably have a better running quarterback than Buffalo. Argument could be made there, but Lamar is a very talented rusher. You also got that plus money at 70 yards. I probably like that. Lamar had 100 yards last time he played a playoff game rushing. Why don't I think he could do the same here against a really dinged up defense?
I think it's going to help his passing attack once he is a threat to run, and he's going to open that up early.
Yeah.
He's going to see opportunities to run early. He's going to rack up some yards to help, your prop here. But I definitely feel like you're right. Josh Allen kind of gave them an insight to what could be with a better runner, and it's going to be available to him.
And Harbaugh is one of these coaches where he's like, look, we're a defensive team. That's how I like to coach. That's what I, pour a lot into. I think he still helps out a lot with the defensive coordinating. So the offense placates to that. It caters to the defense. It's just amazing how you see a lot of these coaching staffs kind of get outside of the realm. You know what I mean? Where they don't pay attention to their own team as far as, all right, we're a defensive team, but we're gonna pass the ball all over the yard and put our defense in a tough spot. I just feel like it's a simple game. Push people around, block people, and tackle people. Blocking,
be physical.
Tackling. Yeah, be physical. And what is more physical than running the frickin' football, even with your quarterback? I mean, like it's 1932. We're going to run right around with Lamar Jackson. I think you're going to see that in Baltimore. If that look comes their way, they're going to take full advantage of it.
Running quarterback. You must be a Husker fan because we love it.
You don't have a choice. When you're born in Nebraska, you love
right.
option football. Get the quarterback out there, get him involved. Well, I think that'll about do it for us this week. You have a good time?
Fun. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Be sure to follow us on ESPN Tri-City Radio and their Facebook page. Also on our Twitter account, sportsbetting_WTL. And our YouTube channel has been growing and growing. We had a fantastic 2023 as far as the growth of that channel and the launch of it. And I think it's just going to get bigger and better throughout the 2024. We're in 24 now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
And why don't you, where can people find you? And you got a new podcast out there, too.
I do. It's called Laugh With Me. You can find it on Spotify, find it on Apple Podcasts. You can also find me on Twitter at JO from Nebraska and on the Instagram, Laugh With Me Podcast.
All right. For J.O.
My man.
I'm Andy Klassen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.